want to come down? That's okay. How's everybody doing? Good. Oh, here we come. Hey, this week somebody shared something with me, and they really didn't know a whole lot about me. That's why they shared this particular thing with me, and I decided that, well, I'm going to share it with you, okay? Because, well, but I have a problem. I don't know that there's enough. See, I got 3 Tootsie Rolls, and there's more than 3 kids here. You know,
Then just give them all to one.
give them all to one?
Give them all to you.
Yeah.
You should eat them.
Well, see, I don't really do chocolate, and so.
You should eat them.
But anyhow, this reminds me of a story, okay? And see, there was the disciples and Jesus were gathered with a whole bunch of people up on the mountain, and Jesus told the disciples to get everybody ready for dinner, right? And the disciples looked around and they said, you know, we really don't have enough food for all these people. What?
It's fractions.
Just like fractions. Okay. All right. How so?
Because if you split it into different parts, it should equal to the whole.
Okay, if you split it into equal parts. So if I take these 3, I can cut them up and everybody can have a piece. Wouldn't be a very big piece, right? Okay, but everybody would get a piece. So we're going to let's keep that in mind there. Okay? So they had this food and it just wasn't. The disciples like, I don't know if we're going to be able to do this. Okay? He had 5 loaves and 2 fish. So basically it was a fish sandwich, right? So he wanted to feed all these people these fish sandwiches, and the disciples were like, it's not going to work. And she said, it's okay. And you know what happened? The person who had those 5 loaves and 2 fish said, you know, I don't know, it's enough, but you can have it if you want it, right? And do you know what Jesus did? Jesus took it and he looked up to heaven and he blessed it and thanked God for it. And do you know what he did? He gave it all out. And what everybody thought wasn't enough turned out to be more than enough. In fact, they had so much that they had a lot of leftovers too, and people were eating fish sandwiches for days. It was incredible. All right? I know, right? So we're like, whoa. Well, that's what I want us to remember, okay? Is sometimes we look at things and we think, it's just not enough. We don't have enough to do what we need to do. All right? And what we can remember is that when we give things over to God, God can do an awful lot with an awful little. Okay? And so I'm going to share these. All right? We're going to pray first. Okay? Dear God, we know that we don't always have a lot to offer. At least we don't think we do. But you can take even the littlest things and you can make them enough. And so we thank you for that, God. You know, amen. There was something else. If you were to share, what could you share that you think might not be a lot, but God could make enough? What are some things that you might be able to share? Any ideas? Clothes. You could share some of your clothes, okay? All right? Air. You can share the air. Okay. You can share what? Okay. All right. We can share our space, right? Right? And how about a smile? Can any of you smile? Can you share a smile with somebody? You know, a smile goes a long way. How many of you have ever shared toys with someone? You know, what? Are you serious? Wow. Okay? And you know, so we can share our toys, right? Maybe we can share our efforts, right? And so maybe we can help clean around the house, right? And share our time and our strength to make things better that way. There's a lot of things we can share, and we don't think it's a lot, but it turns into when we give it over to God, God makes a lot out of it. And so we're going to trust that, I don't know, I've got 3. So you've got a lollipop, so we're going to give you one. All right? And we're going to give you one. And here, Henry, would you like one? Okay. All right. Well, oh. And so you're going to share those with us? What do we say? Thank you. And thank God, right? There we go. All right. I think we got enough for everybody now.
We have more than enough.
We got more, so we're going to have some leftovers. All right. That's pretty cool. All right. If you've got one, you can go on back.